Sup, my name is Ray for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. This is the best cards from World Superstars, the set. Basically, this is going to be a guide for the cards that you want to pick up if you're a meta player, or things you want to watch out in the meta, and this is for tier 2 and lower, so pretty much it's going to be a little bit for everyone, so we can all just kind of come together and see what's going on with World Superstars. Now, I've chosen pretty much the best cards out of the entire set and what will pull most interest. So these are the cards you pretty much want to fill your binder up. Everything else, it's kind of a maybe. You got to find the player that's playing Gagigas or the player that's playing Galaxies who's going to actually run one or two of those things. So we're going to start off with Star Seraphs. Mainly the chair and the scepter are going to be the big two. Now, right now, when I film this video, which is Tuesday, they're sitting at $20 a piece. Now, they're not fully released yet, so keep that in mind. They'll probably most likely drop to around 10 a piece, so you're probably looking 30 a set, so the whole thing's going to come out to 60 for the engine. Now, these are the only two really being ran, but you can also run it with the scale in its own deck, keyword, in its own deck. So some people will be looking for the scale just for it's mostly a fun deck. But Scepter and Sovereign, or Sovereignteen as it's called in the TCG, the chair and the scepter, those are going to be the two big ones that you want to look out for if you're buying this and you want to make profit. Those are the two big ones. This is another big one, number 86, Heroic Champion. This has been a long time coming. There's lots of fun decks that like to use this guy. I don't think he's going to be uber expensive. There's people who collect the numbers, so that's interest right there. And there are people who want to play this card because it's really good. And there's a lot of warrior decks that can spam out rank 4 warriors really quickly. And this is one of the cards you basically want to abuse with. So, if you don't know what he does, he has 5 effects. You can actually use up to 5 materials for him. And each turn, he has to, get rid of one kind of thing. Kind of sucks. At 5... he gains all 5 effects, and the 5th effect is, once per turn, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. The 4th effect reads, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon. The 3rd effect is unaffected by other cards. 2nd is a 1500 gain, and 1 or more cannot be destroyed by battle. Now, those effects apply. So if I have 5, I'm going to get all 5 effects. If I have 4, I'm going to get 4 effects, so on and so on. So it's a very easy card to understand, and it's very easy to understand why people want this. So if you get, you see someone who has interest in it, there you go. That's definitely going to be something. Now, this is something that goes along with that is Assault Halliburt. It's a pretty splashable little level 4 warrior. Pretty much think in the way that we use Bear with Tenki kind of situation. It's not always going to fit into every single deck, but it's a nice tech card. If this card attacks a defense position monster, it inflicts battle damage. And when it inflicts the battle damage, you can add another one of these to the hand. And when your opponent controls a monster you control no monsters, you get special list. So it's an easy nat beast with glow up bulb, especially being legal, and searches itself out. So you can pretty much move these as a play set if you're going to profit or you're making a trade. Or if you're just looking for them, don't expect them to be super high, but they're going to be pretty easy to move. And there's interest in it. It's one of the best cards in the set, definitely, without a doubt. Now we go to Heraldics. This is going to be a fun tier 2 deck in my eyes. I want to say they have potential to reach tier 1. They're going to be a good cheap deck when the set settles price wise, but they're amazing, and this is pretty much one of the reasons that they're amazing besides the 8 monster reborns that they carry. You can discard one of the heraldic beasts and special this boy from your hand. Once per turn, you can discard one heraldic beast and it gains 800. So not only will it go up to 25, jumping over Winda by itself because Shadow is getting playable again, it also allows you to just stick shit in the graveyard. And if you played Heraldics before, there are certain cards that get the benefit off putting in the graveyard and then just reboarding them. So keep that in mind. This is going to be pretty damn interesting. Along with it comes number 18, which it's a number. I believe this is used with Heraldics. Oh yes, this is the one that's used for Heraldics. Okay, so basically once per chain during either player's turn, if for those who don't know this, if 2 or more monsters with the same name are on the field, you detach 1 XC from this card, choose 1 monster among them with the same name, and destroy all face monsters with the same name. While this card remains face up on the field, your opponent cannot special summon monsters with the same name as the monsters chosen for this card's effect. If this card's sent to the graveyard, you could send 2 heraldic monsters from your deck to the graveyard. That's what makes it so good, is that secondary effect, not the main effect. Main effect, I don't think we're going to see it too often. You may see it again, something like Dark Worlds, that kind of rogue matchup, But again, dark rolls are not super duper played, so it kind of just it depends how it's going to be played out. But number 18 is definitely something that's going to have interest for its secondary effect. And then we go on to number 36, another number, which is the Chromely Exceed. And for obvious reasons, Chromelies are going to be hella fun. So I don't think I really need to go over why too much. They have potential to be a strong deck. I'm not sure how far of a deck they'll take it. Most likely high tier 2. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach one Exceed from this card and target one face-up monster in the field. Your opponent controls, change attack to 0 until the end of this turn. You contribute one Chromely monster, target one monster your opponent controls whose attack is different than the original, and destroy it. If that doesn't scream great for the freaking deck, I don't know what does. So definitely be on the lookout for this. Continuing on, we have Chromely Nebra Disc. Probably misspelled it, said it. Alright, so basically when he's normal summon, you can get the Stratos effect. I guess that's the way to put it nowadays, right? And if this card is sent to the graveyard, all monsters you control are there. Chromely, you can special this card in defense mode. You can not activate cards, cards or effects during this turn that you activate this effect, except Chromely's. And you can only use one Chromely Nebra Disc per turn. Now, this is pretty much just your spammer. This is going to get the ball rolling and allow you to go into that number 36. So it's definitely a key part to that deck. If you find someone who's looking for it, chances are they're not going to be looking for one, they're going to be looking for multiples. So that's definitely something on the lower tier status. Now, this isn't too much as popular as the rest of this list, but there is a deck based around this, so pretty much it's kind of, you could just move the playset, and the playset's not really going to go for much, but people are going to have interest to play it as a fun deck. It is a really fun deck. It's Heroic Challenger, 1,000 Blades, and basically it just allows you to spam out number 86, which we talked about earlier in the video, the Giant Heraldic, the Giant Challenger, number 86. It basically allows you to have it with all the effects and then go from there. It's ridiculous, and you have to love it. But not a lot of people can be looking for this. So if you can find people looking for this, it's pretty much because you're building a fun deck. Then we get to number 79, Battling Boxer Nova Kaiser. And this is definitely something people are going to have interest. They've waited a very long time to get their Battling Boxer stuff. So this is basically played in 2s or 1. 1 or 2, I recommend 2, but some people will care or disagree. It's got a great effect. It's a super, so don't expect it to be too much money, but it's one of those cards, if you're picking up this set, this is something you want to keep an eye out for. And moving on, because we're pushing on time, we have Galaxy Soldier, which again is kind of like a new reinforcement to the army for galaxies and allows them to finally use Pleiades and about 30 other rank 5s, and eventually it allows them to use Cyber Dragon Infinity, which you can imagine how broke shit that is when you think about it. I mean, the deck already has dark matter, even though it doesn't use dark matter, even though it doesn't. Another boxer that I forgot to mention is Boxer Shadow, which basically allows you to detach off the lead yoke, and then the lead yoke will get its power boost, and this guy will be special summoned, so you can bring out a second one, or you can bring out that Caesar we just talked about. So definitely one of the super rares you want to keep an eye out for, because people will have interest. These usually play in 2 to 3s, because it's got nice stat points and nice effect to go along with it. Oh, we talked about this already, so we're just gonna skip that. Sorry. This is pretty much one of the best cards, and I didn't do this in any order. This is one of the best cards in the entire set. Is Elemental Hero Blazeman. Blazeman pretty much replaces Prisma for a good chunk of decks. Now, if your deck is reliant on getting Polymerization, you can actually use your normal summon to get your Polymerization now, because you could e-call it. So this allows hero decks, not the Mask Hero, not the, kind of one we're used to seeing. This allows the other one that uses Polymerization. Maybe they're counting on Polymerization a little bit more, because you can add one Polymerization card from your deck to your hand, and then during your main phase, you can activate this effect, and you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. Also send one Elemental Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Blazeman, and if you do, this card's attack, attribute, and defense become the same as the sent monster. So in a way, it replaces Prisma. And the reason I say it replaces Prisma is because A, it grabs you the Polymerization, and B, if you need the monster to do the Polymerization with, so you can actually get to your fusion, you can send Shadow Mist to the graveyard and plus off it. So this is definitely one of the best cards in the entire set. Especially for hero players, they've waited a very long time for this to finally be imported. And I know some of you are probably going, but what about known? Thank God it's not in here. Now this is a Tech Tuesday pick for Future Tech Tuesday. What Psychic Fighter? Now, this is something that I would recommend. If it sounds interesting to you, then hold on to it and tell your friends about it, because it's something that's got a lot of fun tools eventually. Because basically it just helps against certain matchups. It's a good side deck card. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and place it at the top or the bottom of the deck, and you can only use this effect Watt Psychic Fire once per turn. What if your opponent was in a top deck situation and you had Mind Crush face down? Mind Crush being very popular right now. You can know what their next card is. You could say, okay, I'll give it to you, but then I'm going to Mind Crush you. At the same time, you would know what your opponent was getting. Maybe your deck doesn't play a lot of back row, and you play this guy. And remember, he's light, so you can make use of him in a Chaos deck. You want to get a little techie. You could stick an MST at the top of their deck. What are they going to do to you if they're drawing into an MST when they need a Raigeki? Or better yet, if you're playing against Infernoids, which eventually may end up becoming meta, what's better than to stack something they don't need at the top of the deck, or something they do need, put it in the bottom of the deck. So that's something to keep an eye out. That sounds interesting as hell to you. If you're a Ghost Trick player, or you know a Ghost Trick player, and I know everyone knows a Ghost Trick player sooner or later, Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief is in the set. She is their giant searcher, and basically they overlay it on top of an alley card, and that's how she comes out. She does have the win condition for 10 turns, but mostly she's just there to search. So I'm not sure the ratio she's actually played at right now, but I know Ghost Trick players will have a high interest in her. So if that sounds good to you, then this is one you want to keep an eye out for. And the last one I want to mention is a Mecha Phantom Beast, which I cannot even pronounce it, but it's the only Mecha Phantom Beast in the entire set. It's a synchro, and it's got a great effect. It's a level 9, oddly enough, and when this card is synchro summon, you contribute Mecha Phantom Beast tokens up to the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Randomly discard those cards equal to the number of the tribute tokens, tribute monsters. Other Mecha Phantom Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. If this card in the owner's possession is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can set one quick play spell card directly from the deck. Now, I know many of you will probably go, but Mecha Phantom Beasts are terrible or whatever. They are actually a great deck. It's just a lot of people don't play them for whatever reason. So that's every single World Superstar card that's decent, good, or Tier 2 status good. Now, if I left anything out, sound off in the comments why. I left out Gagagas because I don't know enough players who actually are interested in Gagagas to actually play them. They're kind of still missing a few things. So rate, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later with the box opening for World Superstar. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.